This is a short video on how to park at the Bears Den. Right now we're downhill from the Bears Den on Loop Road, and we're going to travel up Loop Road and approach the cabin from the front, which is the most common way that people do approach the cabin, but we'll demonstrate why some people have difficulty parking in doing that type of approach. So we're traveling up Loop Road, and you'll see the Bears Den, the red roof up in the distance, just past this portable can. And what most people do is they'll take a right here on Abrams Falls Way, past the Bears Den, and we are now in front of the Bears Den. And what I want to notice is that just in front of the Bears Den, which is where we are now, there is a long parking area, a kind of a wide spot in the road, and it's paved and it's part of the Bears Den property. And I'm just slightly pulled into that now. And if you have a long or oversized vehicle, this is probably the best place for you to park, which is in front of the cabin. Maybe drive up to the cabin, unload your bags, and then park in this lower area. But we are doing this, we pulled in front of the cabin, and we're now going uphill. And what the difficulty that most people find is it's a relatively steep hill doing it this way. So I'm just going to kind of swing around here, and we're going to point you uphill. And right now, I'm just about to the side of the cabin, and immediately to the left is where we have to park at the cabin. And what the problem with that is it's a very tight turn, and it's a relatively narrow road. And so when you do this, you're climbing uphill, making a very tight turn to the left, and most vehicles are going to find that somewhat difficult. So rather than doing that, I'm going to just kind of back up here. There's the Bears Den, and make a left turn. And this is, I'm going to pull right into, this is now where you would normally park if you're going to take the approach I'm going to show you right now. You'll be properly oriented downhill so that you can just take off and head back into town. What I'm going to do now, well, actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle back and approach the cabin again the way that I normally would. So let me just turn my vehicle around and approach it again from the bottom of the hill up towards the Bears Den. And when you do that, you'll notice there's the backside of a stop sign, and there's this little bridge. And as soon as you cross the bridge, is that road that we just took in front of the Bears Den. What I'm suggesting is continue straight, and we're going to make a loop around. So we're going to continue straight past the Bears Den on our right-hand side and follow this road. It's relatively steep, but in Gatlinburg, there isn't much that is flat. And then we're going to bear off to the right. There's kind of a little Y here, and we're going to just keep bearing right. So we're going up the hill, past Parsons Branch Way, and staying on Abrams Falls. And this is the most difficult part. At this point, we're at the top of the hill. We're above the Bears Den, and you'll be going by several other cabins that are for rent. And then we start going downhill towards the Bears Den. We've just made a great big continuous loop, and you'll now see I don't know if I can kind of swing that around. Here's the Bears Den on our right, and you'll see the parking area just below. So all we really need to do at this point is swing on into the parking area. and you've arrived. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you how simple now it is to leave, because at this point your vehicle is, I'm driving a Toyota Avalon, which is a full-size vehicle, and there's a little kind of a speed bump right at the entrance to the drive, so you know when you're there, when you're in, and when you're not in. And the vehicle is now oriented kind of on an angle, and so I've got it in reverse, and I'm just going to pull out, and it's just that simple. Now you're headed back downhill, and you make your turn, and you'll be headed into town. So I'm just going to do that one more time so that you kind of get a feel for it. We're going up the hill. The Bear's Den was on our right at this point, and we're just going to make a great big loop. And I would recommend doing this whenever it is normal weather other than being snowy and icy. I would never do this if the road is full of snow or ice. Matter of fact, I wouldn't be on this road if there's snow or ice, period. It's very steep, and you just can't gain any traction. So we've made that loop. We're going down the hill. Bear's Den will now be on my right, and I'm just going to make that right-hand turn into the driveway. You can see the grill coming into view, stairway, and we've arrived. We're at a little bit of an angle so that when we back up, we'll be perfectly oriented for departure.